Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of my cooking channel. I haven't really decided what to call it yet. I'm still thinking on the name. If you guys have any ideas of what we could call this channel, go ahead and leave some comments below and let me know what you guys think. But for today, I had the idea of sticking with this Mexican theme that we did in the past two videos, and going a little bit in a different direction, and now making something that doesn't involve cooking, but it's still a big part of Mexican culture, and that's salsa and guac. Two things that you definitely need, and also chips, homemade tortilla chips. We're going to be doing that today. I guess that does involve a little bit of cooking, so we will be cooking a little bit, but mostly we're going to be focusing on these two dips, these two sauces that are iconic in Mexican cooking. So today we're going to do two different kinds of guac sauce. We're going to do a more traditional, chunky, like thick guac, and then another kind that is more popular once you actually get into Mexico and you're like getting tacos and stuff like that on the street. They typically have a sauce that's a little bit more runny or liquidy. It's still a guac sauce, but it's more pureed. Usually you blend it, and so today we're going to be making those two versions of guac along with a Pico de Gallo salsa, which basically is a just very basic, not cooked, fresh salsa. So let's get into it. First off, we have a bowl here of fresh ingredients. We've got some onion, some limes, tomatoes, of course, for the salsa, jalapenos. These are like a very mild chili, and I like them. I love jalapenos. They're very hard to come by in Germany, so if you're watching this in Germany, you really got to find the place to buy these in for cheap. I got these at Hit. This is just down the street for me, for you guys watching in Germany, but they are pretty expensive. I paid €2 for 3 chili peppers. I almost died a little bit because that was so expensive. But I got them. Also got some mango in here. That's something that my dad does. He makes a mango salsa, so I'm gonna throw some mango in my Pico de Gallo today, just to give it a little bit of a fruity, more sweet flavor. And of course avocados, because you can't make guac without avocado. Also here's some cilantro, or Chinese parsley, if you know it by that name. And this is a very unique flavor. A lot of people here in Germany tend to not like this, but I absolutely love cilantro, and it's definitely an essential for Mexican cooking. As for spices, we got salt, pepper, some chili flakes, very basic, but those basic flavors really get just all work together and make something really awesome. Also have some sour cream that's going to be important for when we go to the blender for our more liquidy guac sauce, alongside some regular vegetable oil. As for tools, knife, normal chef's knife. Yeah, I use it for everything. Got some spoons here. Always need a couple spoons, more than one if you're cooking for other people, so you don't have to double dip. Got a rubber spatula in case I need to scrape some stuff out of a bowl. For when we make the chips, I've got a slotted spoon, something to scoop the stuff out with. Very important also to have a steel so that you can keep your knife nice and straight. Another thing that I have, this isn't essential, none of these things are really essential, but I have a citrus press or a lemon press. I'm going to use it for the limes. This comes in handy. It gets all of the juice out without getting it all over your hands, and it also has some holes on the inside of this. And that will help you to keep the seeds out of whatever it is you're cooking, if you're pressing a lemon or an orange or whatever in this thing. Also, something I have today, I don't know if this is going to be any use to me, but one of my friends actually gave this to me. We give each other kind of funny gifts all the time. It's a kitchen gadget. It's supposed to be for avocados. You have a knife on this end to cut the avocado, and then here's where you get the seed out. You like smash it onto the seed and it's able to pull it out, and then this end is supposedly to scoop and slice your avocado simultaneously. I haven't used it yet. It's been sitting in my drawer for quite a long time, but I'm gonna give it a shot today. I'm gonna see if this is useful or not, and if it is, it could really eliminate a couple of these tools on one table. My hopes are not too high for this, but we'll give it a try and we'll see. And of course we have the blender over here. That's gonna be useful for blending our guac sauce. It's just a small little like bullet style blender, something used for smoothies. That's what I got. I got a small apartment, can't have a huge blender, so we got a little one like this. Yeah, let's jump straight into this. We're gonna start off with our Pico de Gallo. It's really, really easy. It shouldn't take us long. It's basically just chopping up all of our ingredients, throwing them together in the bowl, giving them a mix, and it's done. Very, very simple. Make sure you steel your knife. Always steel your knife. If your knife is sharp, it should only take about 6 passes or so, and it will keep that edge. We're gonna be using 3 tomatoes. We have some onion. We have a jalapeno, 1 whole jalapeno. It's a medium-sized jalapeno. We got a lime, and I like to throw in a little bit of garlic, so I got a clove of garlic here, and of course our cilantro. Again, like the last video, guys, it's always smart to have a little bowl or something sitting beside you that you can put all your scraps in. So you have some seeds from your jalapeno, or the skin from your onion, or from the garlic, whatever it is. Just having something beside you where you can put it all in. It's not on your cutting board, it's out of the way, and then you can throw it all in your compost or in your trash or wherever you throw it afterwards. So let's get into this. We're gonna be mixing our Pico de Gallo in a big bowl, so we got that on hand as well. And we're gonna get in with these tomatoes. Now, with a tomato, you can eat everything if you want to. I don't eat the little centerpiece there where the stem was, so I like to chop that off. You can do it before you start by just carving it out, either with your chef knife or with a paring knife. I'll just do it in the process, so not right at the beginning, but I'll give this a quick chop. And we're gonna chop this up into about a small medium dice. You can make it as big or as small as you want it. I know some people that like to have their salsa a bit chunkier, and so they'll leave the pieces a bit larger. Some people, like me, I don't like tomato very much, especially raw tomato, and so what I'll do is I'll chop them a bit smaller, and maybe it's just a mental thing, but it helps me to eat them, because I don't like huge pieces of tomato floating around. So I know I'm weird. Okay, now that we have all of our tomatoes chopped, I actually only use 2 tomatoes. I actually need one for my other guacamole, and this seems like to be a good amount of tomato. So I'm just gonna take my bowl, and we're going to add all of these chopped tomatoes into the bowl. And then we're going to move on to our other ingredients. Okay guys, our tomatoes are chopped, they're in the bowl. The next thing we're gonna need is some onion, and we're going to chop this up not too small, about around the same size as your tomato, maybe a little bit smaller. The thing is, if you go too small, then it kind of gets lost in the Pico de Gallo, and if you keep them too big, then you get, an overpowering onion flavor. So just find that happy medium. Don't go too big, don't go too small. Experiment a little bit, see what you like, what tastes good to you, and go from there. If you're a person that really likes onion and you like that your breath reeks of onion all the time, then be my guest. Make your pieces as big as you want. You can't really go wrong. So, chopping the onion. I'm gonna add them to the tomatoes. And this is a pretty small onion, so I'm gonna use the whole thing. Onions are now added. You see guys, this is pretty easy. This doesn't take much skill, much knowledge. It's just a matter of a few minutes of chopping, getting your stuff all mixed together. Next thing we're gonna go for is a little bit of garlic. This is a pretty big clove of garlic, so I don't think I'm gonna use the entire thing. But I wanna get that skin off, because ain't nobody got time for that. I'm gonna cut this in half, long ways. I don't know why, just because. I'm gonna chop off the end there. We don't want that, it goes in our waste. Give this a nice quick mincing, and I'm gonna add it straight to the tomatoes and onions. Okay, got my garlic all minced up. Just gonna go ahead and add that to the mixture I've got going. And this Pico de Gallo is coming along very quickly, and it's almost done. The next thing I'm gonna add is my jalapeno. So the jalapeno, basically just want to remove the top where the stem is, and I don't know. For me, I wouldn't really remove the seeds. I love spicy food, but I know that I'm not the only person that's going to be eating this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove some of the seeds. I'm not going to be too picky if I get them all or not. And then the stems. The stems are also pretty spicy, so just make sure you get out all of it. If you don't like any spicy food, then yeah, maybe you shouldn't even be eating jalapenos. But just in itself, the pepper, the actual meat of the pepper isn't that spicy in my opinion. Some people would disagree with me. That's okay, but we're gonna take this now jalapeno that's seeded and we're going to chop it up. How big or how small is really up to you. I only have one jalapeno for this, so I'm gonna chop it relatively small. Not as small as the garlic, but definitely much smaller than the other ingredients that I have. All right, and just like that, my jalapeno is chopped. It's beautiful, very awesome color. It's so bright and it's really pretty. It's going to really make the salsa just pop even more. And that's something really cool about Mexican food. There's so many bright colors and everything works together. It doesn't just taste good, but it also looks really cool. So yeah, basically the last thing, the main ingredient that we're gonna have to chop up is some cilantro. And you can use some of the stems. It's not gonna kill you, but usually you don't use the stems. You just pull off some leaves and you give it a quick rough chop and then straight into your pico de gallo. All right, so the last thing that we're gonna be doing to this pico de gallo is some lime juice and then our seasonings. So basically, if you have a citrus press, a lemon press, lime press, orange, whatever, you can use it. You don't have to. You can just squeeze this in by hand. It's not going to be too much different. I don't want to get my hands all full of lime juice, so I'm going to use the press. It does make things a little bit easier, and they cost just a few bucks. Pro tip for the lime, you want to roll your lime out. You could even put it in the microwave for like 10 or 15 seconds to get the juices really juicy inside. For me, I'll just roll it in my hand. You can roll it on your cutting board. Don't throw it on the ground or anything. That might not be a good idea, but just roll it up. You can feel it getting a bit soft in there. Those are all those juices coming to life. So then you're just going to cut it in half. And like I said before, you can either squeeze this or use a press. I'm going to use a press. And we're going to go half a lime straight into our pico de gallo. Easy as that. And then we're going to season this. You're going to get some salt, a little bit of salt in there, a little bit of pepper, not too much pepper, but just a little bit, a couple pinches there. And then of course, some chili flakes. I mean, we already have some jalapeno in there, but the chili flakes will give it a little bit more spice and a little bit different flavor. And for good measure, just a little bit of oil, about a teaspoon or so of just regular vegetable oil. Then we're gonna give this a mix. So that's it, guys. That is your basic pico de gallo, normal, fresh salsa. It's very colorful, it's very pretty looking, and it's really easy to make. It's not difficult. You can go ahead and try this, and you know, if you think it's too spicy, well, you might be out of luck with that. Add a little bit more salt. That might help you a little bit. If it's not spicy enough, go ahead and add some more jalapenos. You can add some more chili flakes. But like I've said before, if something tastes good, you know, do it. You don't have to stick to one single recipe. Cooking is about creating and using your imagination, trusting your palate, and just exploring food. So today, we're going to take this pico de gallo one step further, and we're going to add something to it. And we're going to add some mango. Now, if you don't like sweet, savory, like if you're a kind of person that stays to one kind of flavor, then maybe this isn't the best thing for you. But I love mango salsa, and my dad makes the best mango salsa in the world. Sorry to everyone else who makes it, but it's just not as good as my dad's. And we're gonna add some mango to this salsa. It's gonna freshen it up. It's gonna give it a little bit more of that sweet flavor along with the spicy, and it's just gonna be beautiful. So we're gonna go ahead and get this mango opened up. There are some right ways and wrong ways to cut a mango. For me, I'll just cut it right down the middle. I'm gonna cut it into strips and then remove the skin and chop it up. That might not be the best way, that might not be the way that everybody does it, but I'm just gonna do it that way in this video. All right, we've got our mango all chopped up, and we're just gonna add it straight to the bowl here. And of course, we're just gonna give this a stir. It looks good. That yellow from the mango really adds another component to this dish. Get something to serve it in, another bowl, maybe something not this big. This is really good for mixing, but we're just gonna add this salsa now to the bowl. And that's it, guys. That is your basic Pico de Gallo, and also with mango. This is going to taste great later with our chips.